Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Oh, maybe it's not morning for you while you're watching this. It's morning for me. I'm outside here at St. Teresa's. And this morning, I wanted to talk about something that I've been reflecting on the past week or two. And it's something that this priest named Father Mork talks about. It's called split level living. So it's this reality, or really this false reality, that he says that a lot of Catholics get into, where on one side, we have our supernatural life. We have our supernatural stuff, right? So maybe, you wake up in the morning and you offer your day to God, or maybe you wake up in the morning and you say a rosary, or just like a little thank you prayer to God. Awesome. And then we kind of retreat out of this supernatural zone and we fall into our natural lives. So we, have to shower, have to get ready, have to eat breakfast. We have to go to work. While we're at work, it's, we're doing whatever we need to do to make money. And then, maybe at the end of the day, we say, hey, God, thanks for that day. Awesome stuff. And the only times during our day where we're, quote, supernatural is those times when we almost give permission to God to be God, which is a bit odd, right? It's that sense of control we're always fighting for, where certain moments we're allowing God to be in our lives, we're allowing our lives to be supernaturalized, and then the rest of our lives we're just going about our business trying to get through. And then we got at Mass on Sundays. Once again, we're allowing God to enter into our lives. We're giving Him, say, okay, God, now you can come in. Now I'll let you be here. But the rest of the time, I just got to do my thing. I got to make the money. I got to do X, Y, or Z, and that is a false reality that we fall into. That's a false concept of the way the world actually is. Because as a baptized Christian, there is no more natural stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. You have to eat, you have to work out, all these things. Every animal has to do that. But as a baptized Christian, there is no purely natural plane anymore. It is only the supernatural, right? Everything you do, God is there. God is in you. God dwells in your soul. The Trinity dwells in your soul in virtue of your baptism. And so the challenge for us is remembering that more often throughout the day. So the ancient Christian church, they used to make the sign of the cross all the time. So, a lot of times it was just a simple cross on the forehead, or maybe more of an X shape. And then later on it developed into what we know as the sign of the cross today. But they used to do that literally before everything. St. Francis de Sales has a nice little book called The Sign of the Cross. And in one of the chapters, he talks about just the history of the sign of the cross and how, there's apparently stories from the ancient church that when certain monks or nuns didn't make the sign of the cross before they ate, they just fell dead instantly. Now, whether that actually happened or it's just kind of a myth that went around, I don't know. But it illustrates the point, right? Where the sign of the cross should be done all the time. Why? Because it's inviting God back into the present moment. It's inviting God to work with you in whatever you're doing. It's inviting God to join in a meal with you. It's inviting God to be present. And so I know sometimes it can be kind of intimidating making the sign of the cross in the restaurant, or maybe you're a Catholic and you're kind of used to making the sign of the cross in the restaurant. But when else do you make the sign of the cross? Is it just before you eat meals? When else are you inviting God into your reality, into your present moment? And so that would be, my encouragement for you this week is start inviting God more into your life. Even if it's not a full sign of the cross, maybe you're talking to somebody who isn't quite there yet, or might be kind of taken aback by it. Sometimes I'll even make the sign of the cross on my leg. I'll draw a little cross on my leg, inviting God into the moment with me during a hard conversation, or maybe it's before a big project, or just whenever. I invite you. There's power in the sign of the cross. It is a prayer. It is saying that God descended into our humanity in order to bring us from death to life, right? Going from left to right. There's a passage in Matthew, right, where the parable of the goats and the sheep, and Jesus says the Son of Man will have his goats on the left and the sheep on my right. So that's, Francis de Sales says, that's part of the reason we go from left to right, is because we're receiving the blessing of God, and we're coming from damnation into blessing. We're going from the goat to the sheep. We're being brought into the sheepfold, right? So I invite you, make that sign of the cross. Get into the habit of inviting God into your life, because we don't live on these two different planes, one supernatural, one natural. No, as a baptized Christians, everything is supernatural, and it's then a call on us to bring God more and more into our lives, not giving him like permission, not feeling like, all of a sudden, okay, God, you're not here now, you're here now. No, God's there. If you're baptized, he dwells in your soul. But he wants you to invite him in to walk with you, to journey with you, for the Spirit to motivate you and move you. So I encourage you, make that sign of the cross more and more, whether it's a simple cross on your forehead, full sign of the cross, cross on your leg, cross on your hand, whatever. Invite God more into your daily actions because you are a supernatural being. You are loved by the Father, and he wants to walk with you. Have a good day, guys. God bless.